Well, it's time for more Subnautica. I don't think I entirely know what I'm supposed to be doing from this point on. I won't lie. I have a vague idea that I'm going to be making the... what you call it? Thermal generator upgrade, or whatever it's called for a prawn suit. Apart from that, I don't really know. I mean, I have an Artefact I think I can still go to, a new one. But I mean, I don't entirely know what I'm supposed to be up to, which is fine. It's not the worst thing ever. It's just, it's not great because it means we're going to be going around just searching for the largest part of this. Although, to be fair, once I have the thermal upgrade for the prawn suit, it's going to be a lot easier to go searching places. One thing I do still want though, the grappling hook arm for the prawn suit, or Ocean Man as our one is called. That'd be very nice to have. I mean, I found one piece of it. I can't remember how many we need. But yeah, that should be good. Hopefully. Hopefully. So yeah, what do we need? And one more polyaniline, I believe. We did two of them, we did magnetite? I don't know if we need magnetite, but I'm gonna assume so. We don't need magnetite, okay. That's fine, we literally just need a little bit of salt, is it? Got benzene. No, we need a bit of gold. Gold is what we need. Do we have gold down below? I don't know. But let's just jump into the prawn suit. Head away from this space, unless if I check. Yes, we do actually have this grown at least, which I'd imagine means the ones outside have grown. Let me check. I want to grab some food before I head out. You've got those Preston's plants growing. We need those to make a salad, I believe. We need leaves from them. That's fine. Let's head back to base. Or the main base. Because I think first place I'm going to go. I did mention it last time, the ice bridge. I need to make hydraulic fluid in order to activate the little bridge over there. However, I don't know if I ever actually scanned the empty or broken hydraulic fluid. So I'm going to go back and give that a look. I mean, of course we also need to get the one bit of gold, isn't it, that we need? I think it's only the one bit. Make the thermal charging upgrade for the prawn suit. So yeah, we're just gonna head over this way. Hope everything's fine. Like, I can't think of anything going wrong on my way over. I may not be able to see anything, but I'm sure I'm safe. I'm seeing a few little scary sounding fish, but I'm fine. Let me just very, like, confidently get out the AoE EMP kind of thing. Just in case there's something big that wants to munch on me. Because I wouldn't put it past him to want to munch on me. Like, there's a guy just there, saw a shadow down below. He was pretty much biting me. I stopped it, so that's fine. To keep on heading this way. This is brilliant fun, this. I need to get the afterburner upgrade or the horsepower upgrade or something for this, don't I? It's a sea truck. It's so slow. So slow. Just keep on going put on my lights just so I don't crash. 300 meters. We're slowly closing in. Well, this takes forever. I really am glad I made a second base closer to the lily pads. It seems it's probably more useful than I gave it credit. It's something I should also do, just because I can. Let me go try and get level with the base. That looks to be about level. I want to dock the sea truck in here, get it a bit more charm. Because we've gone through, I believe, what would normally be full charge for the sea truck. Okay, can I fit underneath? Then go up. Please? I think that's it. Happy enough. I don't know why it turned the sea truck around, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's let this charge. It's not massively important, but I'd like it to happen. We're drawing more power than we're making. Is this on? It is. That's mildly concerning, actually. And, hello, Convrix. Good to see you. Good to see you. I'm hoping I have a bit of gold spare. I do. I just want to, hopefully, if things go well, do a bit of an explorer today. That involves making a thermal reactor for Ocean Man. So as we all know, Ocean Man is very hot, so we need to get some thermal charging on it. That's definitely how it's supposed to work. Just stick that on, there we go. Yeah, like, we'll need to figure out what we're doing with Nikki at some point for the Vermintide. I think it would be good if Nikki's that much higher than us in level. I don't entirely know how it's all going to really work. Like, it should be fine. I'm just a little concerned that, like, higher level characters might get a bit boring for Nikki to play as. We'll need to find out. I'll need to find out as we play. I'm looking forward to doing something. It's been ages since I've properly done a multiplayer game with someone. Something I will check while I'm here, just before I leave. Mobile thing. How do I make the aquarium? Never mind, it needs 2 enamelled glass. Cannot be arsed with that. Enamelled glass is a pain, to say the least. Alright. Sea truck, we want to heal you up. Let's just jump down. Repair this. Don't entirely know why you can just repair the one spot of it. I did like from the first game how Cyclops, bigger submarine, had like visible things you had to actually go to in order to repair it. That was quite nice. I understand it's maybe not entirely practical. But yeah. Next kind of higher difficulty. We could, but if we do, it might then end up being too difficult for 2 of us. Like, I don't know a lot about the game. However, I'll probably increase the difficulty. No, I mean, if we have one, it means they can run around just reviving everyone whenever we die. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to suggest that we do anything like just make entirely new characters because, I mean, I would be up for doing that, but I definitely don't want to be forcing either of you if you would be wanting to. Can I get out? There we go. I'd look up to the roof, not the ladder. I think I need some of these. I think 4 should be plenty. Let me check. So I want to make the cold suits. I'm going to be going on land. 2 fibre mesh, 3 fibre mesh. Fibre mesh needs 2 creep pine. I need 2 more pieces. Cool. 1. That one's entirely disappeared. Not able to grab from there. Eat that, and yeah, no, I'm just gonna go craft. I don't really want to be wasting any of my materials by just dropping them. Let me just quickly. There we go. So we did 3 of these. We can make 2. We need to go out, grab 1 more piece. If you can't. I don't know if you can make new characters either. Like, I remember one time I tried playing with a different set of people who hadn't played before. And I don't think I could find a way to, because I think the like level of loot's linked to the level of your highest character. Yeah, we could just do the Chaos Wastes. Might be fine. Chaos Wastes, as the name implies, are a bit on the chaotic side. But I reckon that would be fine. I reckon that would be fine. I've been in the mood for it a reason. Which is why I brought it up. Now, I don't know why I've been in the mood for it. It's probably just because of Dark Tide being delayed. I've kind of thought to myself, just subconsciously, that I want to be playing another game like that. Which I think's fair enough. I think that is fair enough. Yeah, I think it could be a good time. Especially with Twitch integration. Because the Twitch integration, if you don't know what it does, is you have things that work kind of like the Noita integration, I guess. You can spawn enemies, you could give negative effects of some kind to players. Like, it's a good time. It's a good time. I do think it'll work out. I don't entirely know how the integration works, so I'd imagine it needs to be linked to a single person. Just not all of our Twitch channels. We need to figure that out, because like all 3 of us do stream. And if there's only one of us getting it, I'm gonna say probably you link it to yours. Just that would get you more viewers. You're wanting to get up to affiliate, I'd imagine. Yeah, we need to see. We need to see. So none of it's happened yet. We've still got plenty of time to decide on it before it happens. If it even does, because I mean, knowing my planning skills, it's not a guaranteed thing. Oh yeah. Like, you've got to love some Skaven. Especially just the Skaven who are easily killed, despite there being a lot of them. It's a bit worrying when you get the bigger Skaven. Like, if you've not really set yourself up to take out big enemies, they're a bit of a pain. So I was mentioning in the chat earlier in your stream that I went as the elf with 2 knives. What you do with them is really high backstab damage. Whenever you kill an enemy, you go invisible for a short period. I don't remember if it was kill or one shot, or maybe kill with a crit.
Welcome aboard,
Something along those lines. But yeah, it should be fine. Let me just quickly make a cold suit. Yeah, it needs cold suit, and needs cold helmet.
Knit Kevlar microfiber and insulated with an alpine yoke around the neck and shoulders. The cold suit is designed to delay the onset of hypothermia.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, I hadn't guessed that. Okay. We're going out exploring. We might need the sea glide, I don't know. Take some food. We will not need any of these. I don't think I need that. Take some first aid. I have a backstabbing elf. It's good fun as well. It really is. But also fun with just the regular bow though. I quite like the regular bow for the ranged attacks. I don't know if I was odd for liking it, but I did quite like it. Something I do want to learn at one point in this game is how the hell you're supposed to make the snow fox. It's not apparent. Because I've got all the pieces for it, I believe. Yeah, it's counted as a machine. It's among the things that, I mean, should be makeable from just inside a fabricator. It's not in here though. You can get like a recipe to let it do a jump, but it's not in there. It's not a tool. It's not equipment. I don't know how you make it. It's not a mobile vehicle bay either, so it exists somewhere. That's all I know. Maybe I need... Where is it? The magnetic exterior piece. Maybe I need this. Like, let me grab a couple silver and is that a couple titanium? A couple titanium. Do not have any silver here. No, we don't. There's likely an ore vein somewhere nearby. Chance of copper, they're not even copper. Alright, there's definitely silver out that way somewhere. I can grab that in a bit. Yeah, first things first. I was kind of wanting to just check up here because I don't think I ever actually tried scanning the hydraulic fluid that was broken. I don't know if it's quite that simple, but it might be. I can live in hope. I can also take some water, which is nice. I quite like water, I guess. And yeah, we can't just scan this. Brilliant. How do we make that? Let me just try and have a look while walking back to my base. There it is. That's actually quite simple. Okay, we're gonna go out and make that. We also need 2 silver for a wiring kit. And that should be us. Now, I think Ocean Man is very slightly quicker. So let me hope that he is and just jump in. By the way, Conrix, did you have a look at the game I sent you? The, like, orc game. The 40k one. Like, it looks fun. It's got a demo out if you are interested. I've not played it myself. It looks like a good time and it does have multiplayer as well. Or yes, it will have multiplayer. It's a very different game to the kind of game I would play. But I mean, I'm not going to say no to some orcs. Yeah, I need to find gel sacks. Gel sacks I don't think are too bad to get a hold of. I just don't think they're in this area. We did need... We don't grab that from there. There we go. Seed cluster. Now we need 4. Yeah, 4 jelly sacks. You've not checked yet. I mean, it looks like a fun game. It looks like an interesting game as well. I'm not gonna say that we should definitely play it. It's definitely down to your preference. But I think it could be good fun for just like the afternoon or maybe a few afternoons sometime. I've just found like a cave I didn't know existed in any way. Is there any more in here? Or is it just like a small hollow underneath an ice shell? I think it's just a small hollow. Although, we do have some stuff we've not found before. That being this down here, I didn't know existed. Nutrient block. Not great, but I'll take it. I'll take it. How do we get gel sacks from this area? Like, I knew I'd use them at some point, so I'm just gonna work my way towards my actual main base, because I might have 4 of them there. It's unlikely I've got more than 4, however. It's unlikely I've even got 4 of them. So there's a chance. I've got at least a few. I've got at least a few. I really am hoping I have enough. So I know it's not going to be in the starting biome, I believe. They'd be down over there by Marguerite's base. What's that? Sea glide fragment. Nothing important. Ignore it. Sea monkeys. I mean, it's unlikely they'd have anything I need, seeing as I'm looking for gel sacks, but they can bring you presents. They can. And I'll accidentally punch one at some point, because I'm trying to take its present while still in the prawn suit. I did not last time. I still feel bad about it. But what can I do? What can I do? I can't just, like, take it back. Also, I've gone too far. I got distracted thinking about orcs. It's a dangerous thing to get distracted by. Alright. Up there. Should be fine. Completely freestanding base. Something I might do is bring mobile vehicle bay with me, in case you can place it on land and then it lets you make a snow fox.
Welcome aboard.
So let me quickly park, have a check in the storage. Do I have 4 or more gel sacks? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4. You know what? That's just meant to be. That is just meant to be. Yeah, pick up facts, mobile vehicle bay. It might be what I need. I don't know. To make the snow fox. I don't know. We find seed clusters in there. Or no, I had to pick it manually, so it wasn't. Fair enough. Back we go. We also want to bring silver. If we have any silver, we'll grab some later on. Just dump these, I want to say. I don't know. Let's just make the hydraulic fluid. Let's just make this. So let's just get over a bridge into new on-land area, which I feel will be somewhat useful. I do need to put them away, is what I need to do. There. There we go. And that is us. Fine to go on back to the icy bridge area. I imagine to get more gel sacks at some point, but for now, I have my fill of sand. So that's fine. I'm a bit curious what's over that bridge, and whether it's something I want to bring the prawn suit over to. Because the prawn suit can go on land. It's not something you'd really think of doing most of the time. Just of how big and clunky it is to move. You can. And I might. It's very, very slim chance that I might, but I mean there's a definite chance there, I won't deny it. Okay. On land, I know there's one thing I haven't found yet. I won't spoil it in case you don't know what it is, correct? Because I think you said you've not played the game. I don't know if you said you hadn't seen anything on it. But yeah, there's definitely something up in the ice area which I've not encountered, which I feel I may be encountering soon. Just one past the jellyfish. I believe it's eye jellies. The jellyfish are pretty, but I don't know why they apparently live in deep waters when I've not seen them anywhere but here in very shallow water, all things considered. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. It's also a bit odd that there's no, like, sediment leading up to the ice shelves. Because normally you'd think there'd be some kind of, like, not necessarily a beach, just something. It's a bit peculiar. Okay, let's just take the prawn suit. I do like that the shadows shows the arm moving, yet it's not really moving enough for that shadow to realistically care. But yeah, put that in. Extend the bridge. Yeah, there we are. And out we go in the dark. I could go back and sleep, but nah. The dark is fine. It's just fine. Got chests open and
it would be worth investigating. But be careful.
Of what?
I recall ravenous creatures tunneling beneath the ice.
that would be worms to the northeast then. Lovely. Big scary things. I do not want snow. Not that. In we go. We're not going northeast immediately to the whatever things tunnel through the ice. Just having an explore. But hopefully find something nice to either investigate or use. Ideally, I'd like a vein of silver. Because I do need silver right now. On the other hand, I have genuinely no idea what could be up here for the most part. Like, I know a little bit about the game, I don't know much. Apparently, bumpers. Risking our lives, cross territory. Anything important? Extract the ice worms. Hey, can I scan you quickly before you leave? No, I can't. Can I, like, get a blueprint for one of these bumpers? I can.
New blueprint synthesized.
Never been made. Bless me, I'd sneeze. Magnetite, titanium and battery. That's not expensive. I could make them. They can distract the ice worms. That sounds nice and how? Not mean to fall all the way down, but it got me the silver I wanted. So hooray. Let's get some bit of copper. Silver is more so what I care about. And that's actual titanium vein. Would I be able to get down here with a prawn suit? I think maybe. I'm not going to risk getting it stuck in there though. We are just going to head on back to base, get ourselves a snow fox, the allegedly kinda underwhelming vehicle, and if we can, this. Yeah, that's more than doable. Okay, back we go to base. Our little base in this area anyway. This is fine. I could jump down. Does jumping down do? Gets me into some water. The water has nothing of interest. Cool. I should have expected as much. It's worth checking though, in case it was a new area of water. I kind of thought it wouldn't be, but I'm happy enough to check. Did punch that jellyfish. It does seem they react to being punched, which is nice. Means if they ever are bothering me, I'm able to get them to stop bothering me. Okay. Hop out. In terms of temperature, I have a full cold suit, which, yeah, really seems to help. It's a total of 80% resistance to cold. That makes a massive, massive difference. Okay, in we go. Do we have spare titanium? Yes, we do. Okay, electronics, make a wiring kit or two. There we go. Make the jump module. Now we just hope we can make a snow fox. I really hope we can. If we can't, I might just give it a Google. I won't lie. Can't really be arsed figuring out how it works. In water. Screw that then. How the hell do you make one? I'd assumed it would be more obvious where you make it. Was it in the modification station already? Was it? It shouldn't be. Where and how do you make it? That is annoying me quite a bit actually. I just want to make a little bike to hover around on. I've been told it's not very good, but hasn't stopped me wanting it, you know. Let me... Where can I place this? It's happy being placed back here. So back there it goes. Where... Oh, you just construct it from here, do you? Well, that's handy. That's awfully handy. We need the battery, we need... Is that 2 magnetite? And lubricant. We don't have any lube on us, do we? Battery, 2 magnetites, and yeah, we need to go find some lube. There's worse missions to have than finding lube. That's not a hard one. Just jump in the water, have a swim, grab... Was only the one lube. Meaning, yeah, 1 creepvine cluster. It's all safe. I don't know if safe's quite the way to put it. But we have creepvines right here, so we really don't have to go far. Chances of me dying in any way is incredibly slim. Not non-existent, but slim. Can I grab one of them? Yep. Also want to have a look. No, it's just a grav trap fragment. Alright. Back to base. That was a much shorter trip than I thought it would be. I'd be lying if I said I was unhappy about that, but yeah, I thought I'd be going a lot longer. You're wondering why I've got this out by the way, rather than the Sea Glide. I've charge fins. Just want to charge it up. Just a little. Charge fins really seem inefficient though. So maybe I shouldn't bother. I mean, how about repair builds? That repair just as slowly. That's a shame. I mean, it's nice to get free power, but it's not really all that substantial amount of free power. Make the snow fox. Thankfully, my somewhat hunch was right that we'd had to build this charging pad to make it. Actually, to make full pins. Off in here. A little bit of lube. Here we go. Space doesn't need to have a lot of power. Like, it's got a single solar panel and that'll let me do all the construction and hopefully charging of this that I need. Here we are. Seeing it being built. Is that about done? Looks to be about finished. Here we go. How do we access the upgrades? I don't know. Why is it making it spin around? That seems impractical. What a weird feature. Anyway, hover bike. What do we call it? It's just going to be a big, fancy hovering bike. Can't think of a name. It's going to continue being called Snow Fox. We will make it, however, a nice, somewhat faded purple. Interior will be a kind of bluish purple, I think. A little bit faded as well, but not quite as much. Of a stripe that's kind of very dark purple. And the name can be in here. Oh! Look at that. Isn't this lovely looking? You could tell me no and I would entirely be thinking that. How do I access upgrades though? I can pack it up. It's not what I want. Ah! This panel here. There we go. That has the ability to jump. Or the Snow Fox. And you do have the ability to pack it up. And take it with you. And starting to think I built this the wrong way around. Pack up the Snow Fox, if you would. Game? I know it's an option. I've seen it. How did I board it up? What part did I look at? Good damn it. Okay. Move it over here then. Just it's out of the way. Definitely packed up. I am seeing that as a thing. Access upgrades. Pack up. You look at it from the back. You look at that saddle. Yeah, look at the saddle bit. Lets you pack it up. Takes up a good bit of inventory, as you'd imagine. That's fine. Quickly deconstruct this. build it with a better rotation. Build it there, I guess. Yeah, it's close enough to get power. Lovely. Lovely. Let's jump on the Snow Fox then. Does have a jump. Don't entirely know how useful that's going to be, but it does have a jump. It's also got a very short-lived boost, which, I mean, it's nice having a boost. It just doesn't last any decent length of time. And yeah, I wouldn't have been able to make that jump. I had thought before maybe I could get over that bridge by just doing a fancy jump over the top. I'm seeing the hole up that way. I want to make my way up immediately around. We're not going to go to the northeast for as long as we can avoid it. Let's head up this. You're happy going uphill, right? Snow Fox? I think it's happy. I hope it is. Got titanium. Have we got anything else other than like titanium that's just on the ground? I'm not seeing any penguins or anything really. I'm seeing this, which I believe is the one that I'd found previously. I'm doubting that actually the more I'm here. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have left these unopened. Don't actually need any of them. Do just drink a bit of water as well. Should maybe do that in real life too. And bumper upgrades. Good to know there's alleged upgrades that I'll likely never use. And here I've got diamonds. Okay, so if I ever want diamonds, spring a prawn suit up this way. It's fair enough. We'll definitely do that at some point. However, diamonds aren't anywhere near as rare as you think they are if they're just up here as well. I've already found them in a few different places. Yeah, don't launch myself off a cliff just yet. Before I do that, try the whole not launching myself off a cliff option. Now we still want to head northeast eventually. If I look back this way, this, I would imagine, just takes me back towards the bridge. Yeah. So me back towards the bridge. Head out the intended path. Don't know what we're hearing. Chances are it's not friendly and we will run into it before too long. So that's probably not fine. It's nice to know we won't be left wandering for too long. This bike really runs out of charge quick though. Okay, just hug the walls because that's definitely headed to the north over there. And why would you chuck me off? You stop with that game. I have a feel that's just scripted, so I'm not in any way concerned. It's annoying that it chucks you off your bike. Okay, down this way. What have we got? We have... I mean, there's definitely the light sticks, so it wants me to be able to go that way. However, that just loops me back over towards the base. It's upsetting that there's not anything else, but alright. Alright. I've got another ore vein there. This should lead me to the... yeah, if I go up this way, where I'd previously been. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting a feel for this starting area. That's all fine. Wait, why did I come out from this way? Okay, that's a little odd. So that means I want to actually go this way. Like, I just got the... I'd imagine it was meant to be a jump scare. Just at that point I've passed. Over there. I don't know what there is, but I see something which looks like a cloud of dust. Which, chances are, is not friendly towards me. Over here we have food. Let's hop off my bike quick. There we are. We'll bring some with us. Probably. Got inventory space. Back on, and what we got? Severed wire. Severed wire. Lead power up. Meaning I want to try and go above this area. I don't entirely know how I'd get up. I'm assuming that's like one of those ice worms up that way something. It's not able to get to me while I'm here, so I'm not concerned, but... Yeah, where the hell am I going? Alan had a memory of this place, so I'd imagine it's something like worthwhile over this way. It's hard to really say for certain though. And I do like how you can just warm up off your bike. That is quite nice. Ah, more alien stuff. Oh, damn it. Will you stop chucking me off my bike? What the heck? Also, is that a ore vein or... That's just a bit of blue rock. Why did it coming out of the ground chuck me off my bike so harshly though? Like, it's a hover bike. I'm not going to be shaken by the ground coming up, right? The penguin. I mean, do I need the penguin? Curiosity's getting the better of me. There's not going to be anything good in there, but curiosity's getting the better of me. I hate that as. But yeah, we need to have an investigate. Also, this thing is flimsy as anything. I just mildly crashed it into a rock and it lost 60% of its health. I think I'll actually heal that now. Just to be safe, I don't want it blowing up on me at any point. Right. Back towards Ocean Man. It's not good. Just need to pick up a penguin, stick it in our pockets. I think there's someone coming out of the ground back there. It might have been. It's not immediately next to me though, so I'm not needing to worry. Damn those icicles, I thought they'd probably just let me past, but no. Apparently not. He's just looking for penguin biscuits. I mean, it was pick up a penguin, wasn't it? Like, I had more keys than icicles. I mean, if I could just grab biscuit, I'd rather that than having to grab the spy penguin. Spy penguin, as cool as it somewhat sounds, I don't think I need to. Alright. Park here. Give it a quick repair. And time to pick up that penguin.
Welcome Welcome aboard,
It was in
Captain.
this one. Dumped my titanium and such, I won't be needing it. Take Penguin out. Let's dedicate 2 slots to this. Wait for us to charge. Never mind, it's already charged. That charges fast. But I guess its battery is tiny. So it does make sense. The one thing I really don't like about this game though is the fact that they've got just mist everywhere. It stops you actually seeing things. In the first game, like the just standard Subnautica, you could see the aurora from any part in the map. It didn't really matter, but if you could see it, or like if you couldn't see it, it would have been out saying. It was nice, it made everything feel more interconnected. In this one though, they keep sticking fog everywhere so you don't actually get a decent view. Like, it's fine enough having a bit of fog. Like, I wouldn't complain about that at all. It's just everywhere. It is. It's a bit of a shame really. Because I'd imagine the game's very beautiful looking. If you can see it. Also, anything down here? Chances are slim, but there might be. I have a feeling though I should not be taking my bike into these tunnels. It seems a bad idea. It's really not meant to be in this tight of space. But, I mean, I've never been the kind of person to go along with what I think would be sensible. Where the hell have I ended up? I should be just next to where I was a minute ago. Yeah, I'm literally right next to where I was. So that was useless. That was useless. Just keep going the way where I saw something. For the love of Christ, it's not even near me, that one. It was all the way back there. God damn this! Bikes, it's fun until you get immediately just chucked off of it. I understand they're supposed to be scary. Big, like, worms that go through the ice. But they're more of a nuisance than scary. It's really a shame. Because, I mean, I'm up for being mildly scared. That's fine as far as I care. Down goes Penguin. Get out the remote. In we go to get... I mean, honestly, I said it probably wouldn't be worthwhile, but we get an ion cube. Ion cube alone makes this probably fine. And wrong button. I'm used to having my prawn suit where right click grabs you things, but that's fine. We can get 2 ion cubes. Alright. Okay. I'm willing to say that was worth it. Maybe grab a bit of magnetite on my way. I know I don't really need it. It's easy enough to find as long as you know where the veins are, which I do. But I do kinda want it. Hop out. Then pick up the Penguin. Go on, Snow Fox, turn off its light. And now we just have a wander about. We'll be chucked off of this at some point. Back to like worm coming out of the ground. So apparently that's enough to scare you off of your bike. I disagree. I'm still a bit annoyed about the fact it's happened. Is it 3 or 4 times I've been chucked off of this? It's been a few times. I'm still annoyed about it. Happening even just the once. Where is this? I kind of expect it to go around. So I thought there was a shelf in the ice. Where I could have just shimmied along to find my way somewhere. I'm going in the right direction for this, like, architect stuff. That's largely what I came down here for. Let's continue following these.
Architect data packets
I can't move. I got stuck in its hitbox. That's just straight up unfair. I hate this. Just like bandage myself. There we go. I'm hating this. These worms are such a pain. I understand, like, they're supposed to be big and scary, but I just got stuck in that one's hitbox. That's not scary, that's annoying that happened. Yeah, just searching for the architect stuff. Stop complaining about the damned worms. One right under me, but I don't really care. Oh, that was behind me again. I'm trying to get a good look at it. Like, I want to see properly what it looks like. But it's just not appearing in convenient places. I'm stuck guessing at what it could possibly be. Back this way? I don't think the lead's anywhere, but could easily be wrong. Don't board it, I want to pack it up. There we go. That's lead to anything. If we just go on foot, does that work? Ah! Thanks for the sub, John. God, that's been almost a year. God almighty. It does not feel like it's been that long, does it? Or maybe to you it does. But, God, that's been ages. I do appreciate you, like, continuing to sub, because I like money. But, yeah, it does not feel like it's been quite that long. Is this silver? It is. Grab some silver. It's always a pain to get. It's titanium. More. So I'm not going to grab any more silver. I have plenty. Okay, where on earth am I going at this point? I've very much gotten lost. I think I want to head that way. I can jump that. It's a bit of an optimistic jump, but I'm glad it didn't fall to my death. If I take Snow Fox out to use... because we weren't able to go up that way. Meaning it's likely through this we need to go. Yes. And you're playing Subnautica. I mean, I've not played it in ages. But it's a lovely game. Lovely, lovely game. Like, it's always gonna have a spot for me. And I'll do a sip, John. There you go. Now we get on to... no, never mind. No, never mind again. Now we... oh, God damn it. Now we get on to bite. There we go. Where are we even heading? I've looked back to where I started. God damn you. I mean, I get a proper look. As he just doesn't like the ground. And, oh, he's back again. Didn't make a sound as he entered the ground that second time. Impressive. Okay. Over this way. I think. Maybe? I don't remember ever going past any kind of frozen lakes. Is this a new place? I genuinely don't know. I'm really quite lost. It's all very samey looking on the ground. Like in the ocean, it's fine enough. You can just make your way around easily in a cave system. You have the pathfinding tool if you want it. But I'm very much lost. But above ground is a bit of a pain to navigate. Although I guess in the water I usually feel a lot better about it because I'm just in my prawn suit most of the time, and I hate if he just kicks you off of it. He also does a good chunk of damage, but I hate if he just kicks you off. Let me stop here for a moment. Prepare this. This isn't at all tedious. This is fun, you know? It's like how underwater you got the giant creatures you need to work to avoid. This guy just appears randomly, and you need to try and avoid him regardless. That's fun, right? That's not an annoying aspect of the game. I could never be annoying. Did I make that? I think it is. I'm quite frankly amazed. Alright. New place, we haven't quite been here yet. What have we got? First aid kit, we'll grab fibre mesh. I actually don't really need, but I'll take it, I guess. Data box.
Technology acquired.
Wait, Snow Ice Swarm Attack Reduction Module. Is that for Snow Fox? I don't know, but it's quite simple to make. I'm gonna make one. It's again one of those annoying moments where you just need to go all the way back to your base to make something. Theoretically, you jump all the way down there. That is a bad idea, theoretical or not. Up this. Let's just have a look in the cave. We're gonna go on foot. What have we got? Honestly, I hoped for better. Where did I see? It's apparently over there. Swarm really is just a pain. I'm trying to find something, Mr. Ice Swarm. I understand you're supposed to be an environmental hazard, but this is just a nuisance. Okay, I want to head northeast. Northeast seems to be what it was hinting at, is where I want to go. So let's get on this. Head up that way. Be careful we don't break this by fall. We've already damaged it by falling down. That wasn't even a steep fall. God damn it, this thing is useless. It's nice to be able to go faster, but it really is useless, this. And yeah, definitely not up that way. We need to go around. Kind of thought this was just a kind of pillar in the middle. I could just go around it, but apparently not. Yes, so it was a nice swarm, I guess it'd be. Why did you kick me off my bike? It was nowhere near me. Okay, that time's understandable. But why the other time? Such a pain. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not having fun going through this area. Which is very kinda labyrinthine, while just interrupting my travel whenever it gets a chance. Where do we head? There's a big cave maybe there. I don't know if it is a cave, that's why I said the whole maybe part. I think it's probably a cave. So let's go have a poke in there, I guess. Yeah, that looks to lead northeast. This will do. Yeah, that's about what I expected to happen. Lovely. Why did I fall off? You're not doing anything next to me. God damn you, you stupid worm. This is annoying. It's not a fun feature. Why did we implement it like this? Like, is it not supposed to be chucking me off my bike? I made this bike specifically for this area, just so I could go around a bit quicker. I don't even know what the guy's doing. And presumably he's got a reason to exist. Like, is he eating maybe snow stalkers? Yeah, 'cause I can see some of them around. Do want to continue avoiding them where possible. And I can't even get back on currently. I'm stuck inside of the guy. Okay, board this. Having a fun time, you know. Okay, got a light beacon over there. It's clearly trying to attract my attention. That doesn't mean that's where I go. That could be where you're meant to enter this area. And got a dead ice worm. I mean, hooray, I guess. That means they're killable. Unless it died of old age. I do just want to scan it. There we go. Where are these bones from? Because the ice worms, I wouldn't think would have a proper rib cage, would they? They potentially just have ribs the whole way along, but they would have a rib cage, like separate from the rest of their body. That's a weird thing to come across, those bones. I'm not going to question the bones, but it was a weird thing to come across. Now, I want to try and continue. You're not even next to me. Why are you chucking me off and damaging my bike? What? I hate him. With a passion, I hate him. Let me just follow this down. What have we got? Ah! Lovely! The thing I want. Him to kill some ghosts. What, in real life? You like becoming a ghostbuster, or what do you mean? Yeah, I'd imagine you're not becoming a ghostbuster. How about the, like, ghost player you get in Noita? Be my guess. The Holy Mountain. Alright, fair enough. What am I meant to do here? Seems mildly collapsed. I kind of expected more, you know, when I came along and followed the whole ass thing over here. I mean, emeralds? Is it actually emerald? Pure emerald. Is simply colorless. These crystals contain trace amounts of chromium. Lovely. The hell did I come here for if it's just blocked off? I've got this. Arm, I guess. That's an easy thing to miss. That gets me the tissues.
That's a rough way to go.
Yes, I would not enjoy being crushed while mining iron cube components.
The cold preserved the body well, but this isn't a big sample. Will it be enough?
Our tissues are pluripotent, derived from the DNA of various species, capable of changing form as necessary.
Ah, like stem cells. So, what prevents you from, I don't know, ending up with hooves where your eyelashes should go?
That does not happen. At least not since the 4th iteration.
So at some point, that could have happened, lovely. So we could have just had various architects with hooves on their eyelids. It's an interesting thing to think of. Okay, Snow Fox. I think we've got everything we needed from up here. Since that got us tissues, we get to just leave this place forever. Which, as far as I'm concerned, is a very large positive. Can't wait to get rid of these big ice ones. Could you stop it? You're not even hitting my bike, but you're chucking me off. These things are like so annoying. They're endlessly annoying. It really is a pain. Oh, by the way, John, we're doing the games night this Sunday if you're interested. Or if you're free as well. If you're not, that's fine. But just make sure you are aware of it. Okay, this time I've gotten stuck inside of him for a moment. Eat the swarm. Passionate hate. Right, just like leave immediately. Get myself killed, that would do it. But that seems excessive. I also don't know why you'd want the jump module, like, at all. For the Snow Fox. There's not been a single situation it's been needed. Like, I guess it's kinda nice to be able to, but it's really not useful. Okay, just continue going though. Almost back. Our thing is slowly dying because of a worm popping up in our general vicinity. So let's just give it a heal. I mean, to be fair, one of the times it did pop up, like with us just inside of it. Still though, like most of the times it's not had any physical contact. Or even remotely any kind of contact. Just keep making my way back. I don't even know if that is the right way. I think it's further along here than to the left. I think this is the way to get back out. I couldn't tell you one way or another because it's all very samey looking. But I think it's this way. Yeah, this is the right way. Now we just need to check something. Does this work on water? Not really. This is really stupid looking right now. This is great. I love this. How is this so stupid? Oh, hoverbike. I hate you. You're genuinely useless. You've gotten the only little bit of use that you might have had right now. You're just gonna live forever on this island. We're never gonna use you again. I do think it's nice as an idea to have you going on land. I do think it was. I don't think it's been executed particularly well in this. I think it was a nice idea. First game was a lot bigger of a moment, because he found floating islands surrounded in mist. Like, that was an interesting time. This isn't. This is, I mean, quite easy to find.
Welcome
I mean,
aboard, Captain.
it's static like the floating island, but it's
You have
not
found
great.
2 of the 3 components required for the construction of my corporeal form. This is as close as I have come to autonomy in a long time.
You have such a way with words.
Is that sarcasm?
It was. You're learning.
Hopefully, I will not have time to complete my study.
I was wondering, if you can transfer bodies, why was it important to find a cure when you were infected? Couldn't you just make a new body?
As you can see in the components you have scanned thus far, the forms we require combine biological and mechanical parts. The tissues you have scanned were developed from the DNA of 27 separate alien species.
27? That seems greedy. And wouldn't that mean that anything that infects a body you've manufactured can potentially learn how to infect all those other species?
Yes, that is why a cure was imperative.
Okay, we just want to dock this properly. There we go. Leave that be. We're done with this. If we ever come back, Ice Worm's going to be less of a nuisance. Yeah, just dump that in there. Do we take magnetite with us? We do. We also want to take some silver, I think. Benzene. Leave some first aid kits. Take the ion cubes. We want to switch the rebreather out as well. Leave nutrient blocks. Leave penguin. Grab the rebreather helmet. Stick it on. Stick this there. How do we make the other suit? Water filtration, synthetic fibers, so we're not doing that. I don't know where you get the spiral plant, or whatever it is that we need. So that one's not happening. You could call me lazy for saying that. I would disagree with you. But yeah, I really cannot be arsed with it. But now though, let's get into Ocean Man. We come back onto this. And then we have one last piece to find for the Architect. For Alan, if not to give him his actual name. Got a lot of silver now, that is really nice. Back to main base. From there, dump off all these materials. I've just grabbed all the silver, the magnetite, the ion cubes, another one. Dump all of that off, and then just figure out what we do next. As far as I'm aware, there could be more to do with Marguerite. There's also that thing over that way. The artifact all the way down seems to be very, very deep below the surface. So I'm thinking that's what I would definitely want to get to. We'll visit Marguerite first, then we'll do that. Apart from that though, we don't actually have any kind of leads to follow. I'm hoping I've done enough now for Marguerite to have noticed I've already finished the antibacterial injection that Sam had developed. Because she had mentioned that, hadn't she? Last I saw her up in her greenhouse. Does she have other bases around the place? Anyone know? Because, I mean, I just stumbled across her greenhouse. It happened to be where I needed to go. I don't think it's been said that the two of us are meant to meet again. I'd assume she wants to, because she mentioned Sam's research and the, like, bacteria vaccine. Is a vaccine for bacteria? Or was it a virus? I think it was a bacteria, wasn't it? That the big frozen Leviathan had. I'm not certain. Regardless, we've administered the antidote. So, we've got what we needed. All I need to do is hop out here. Hop out back. Get into the prawn suit. And then from there, just have a quick sit on top of this. Get into base, charge this up. Charges from heat as well now, so I'm not too worried about the charge, but still worth keeping it charged where possible. Both them. Anything we particularly need. I could build a snowman. I could make a headlamp. Headlamp's not that bad to make, really. 2 quartz titanium, ion battery, ion cube golds. Yeah, I've got all of the stuff. Gold and lithium. 2 bits of quartz. Piece of titanium. Cool. Ion battery. Equipment. Still need glass. Okay, bit of glass. I don't know if this headlamp's going to be any use. Just make a light instead, but headlamp. There's a chance this is better.
With an advanced weather-resistant strap that can withstand volcanic heat or an ice age blizzard. A perpetual, hands-free light source in even the darkest environments.
Okay. It doesn't seem to have a battery meter. It's small to carry in my inventory. Keep it with me. Could be nice to have. As for the rest, anything be under tools and whatnot, wouldn't tip out as anything. So we have another slot for the, like, where the compass is for some kind of chip, I guess. It's like the first game, that's the one which lets you highlight in the world things that have been picked up on the scanner. So we don't need that. Propulsion cannon we don't know how to make. Do you know how to make the prawn suit propulsion cannon? Computer chip needs some more stable coral, which we've got. It's a bit of gold, which we've got. Yeah, 1 bit of gold. 2 of them. 2 table coral. What else did we need? We needed 5 titanium and lithium. 1 titanium. We need more titanium. Got it. Let's go searching for titanium, but before we do so we should really empty out my inventory. I keep getting distracted. Just dump all of this out. Not that. Dump magnetite. Dump diamonds. Dump battery and ion cube. Benzene. Okay. Titanium. Titanium's the easiest thing to find, but it's still a pain. take too long though. I needed 5 of it. We've got 2 right there if I just scan that. Might as well grab some copper while I'm about. Okay, no, we've immediately gotten all the titanium we need to just find a seaglide fragment. Lovely. Lovely. I could get some extra titanium. An extra 2 wouldn't be terrible. There we go. Because having 2 extra titanium means I can build like a plant pot or something if I want to. Don't know what I would, but I could. Alright. Let's move the computer chip first, didn't we actually? It's copper wire. Computer chip. Upgrades. 2 magnetite and a lithium. We could also just make torpedoes. Isn't the worst idea. Don't have any aerogel for the arms. I'm gonna just say propulsion cannon. For at least the moment is more useful. But yeah. Stick that onto here. Surprisingly small thing that. But here we are. Now the drill and a can. Let's jump in. Okay, then float over this way. Time to visit Marguerite. Marguerite's the first one we want because we might have a better hint towards the story than what I wanted. Because my only current lead is go to that artifact. Which, while that's fine, I'd rather make sure there's no other options. Yeah, then we just slowly make our way over, because this thing's gotten really heavy. Like, the sea truck used to be quite fast. It's not anymore. It's incredibly slow. But slowly and surely, we're making our way through. I'd imagine it slows down by like a percentage or something. For each like module you add on. Or something I should do. Ice bridge. Snow fox. I think those are only 2 I need to get rid of. Probably don't need the Delta beacon. Probably don't need the Leviathan Canyon that I've marked. I'm trying to unclutter all my weights best I can. I understand uncluttering it isn't the most useful, but I'd still like to be able to see what's going on best I can. And just having waypoints everywhere does get me a bit confused. I am quite simple-minded, after all. Oh, be a bit careful, there could be giant fish. I think this is the red one in this area. They shouldn't really be a concern, but they can be here, so be a little careful. Yeah, nah, I think I'm fine. Yeah, nah, we're 100% okay. Let's keep heading down this way. Hopefully while we're down here we'll get the other grapple arm fragment. Because grapple arm fragment for one, you've got the... It was on the tip of my tongue for a moment, but I've completely forgotten it. But there's at least 2 things down here. The grapple arm and something else that I can get. The hell is that other thing? It's going to annoy me. Yeah, these 2. There we are. Afterburner and horsepower upgrades for the sea truck. I'd like to get them as well. if possible. Because I think I found them down this way. If I didn't, I've got a terrible memory. Which, I mean, I'd be willing to believe I've just got a terrible memory. Okay. Hop out. While we are here, we would like to... How do I exit? There we go. I would like to, if possible,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
grab some kind of gel sacks. 'Cause I think they do generate here, don't they? I don't know for certain, but I think they do generate down here. So yeah, keep an eye out. They can stick to walls in the ceiling. They can also be on the floor. So they could be pretty much anywhere. I'm not going to say literally anywhere, but I mean, we've immediately found one here. I could take the drill off, so I can pick these up while in the prawn suit. That'd be worthwhile, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're not hard to pick up by hand. I'm not particularly annoyed if I have to jump out. Like, it's not really ideal. However, it's also 100% doable. Where do you end up? Ocean Mob? Where is he? He's supposed to fall just down there, but... Oh no, he's just on the wall. How does he manage to get stuck in the wall like that? That's... I mean, not worrying. That's unexpected. Okay, yeah, looks like Marguerite is back here. Just jump up to say hello. I've done the whole alien vaccine thing.
You again.
A while back. You're gonna acknowledge it at all, or you're just happy with me being here? She's happy with me being here. Can we scan any of this stuff? No. We go back here now. Which also doesn't seem to help. Bedroom? What was that I could scan? A shower! Showers? I don't seem to be able to get into it, but I've now got a shower and a sink. Presumably mirror? No. Is that part of a sink, maybe? I don't know. Is that my reward for chasing down that greenhouse? I also get this.
A fortnight into our voyage, I was more or less living inside the creature's ribcage. It meant shelter, and it meant food. The flesh was starting to rot. The stench was unlike anything I'd ever smelled. As we floated, the temperature dropped, and the rotten meat began to stiffen and freeze. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the Reaper began to lose buoyancy. We sank a little each day. My sanctuary was becoming my tomb, and I was at the mercy of the current and the winds. Until one day, I saw a smattering of penguins in the distance. Swimming birds usually mean solid land of some kind. I was lucky. The winds followed their path. Hours later, I saw a blessed sight. An unmoving cloud sitting upon the water. Land. It renewed my spirit as I watched the land get closer and closer. The Reaper slowly sank, but I was no longer worried. When the Reaper finally sank below the water,
There's a toilet.
I was
Going
close
back.
enough to
I
lazily
keep
swim
forgetting.
my way to shore.
That's more important than
I made a
anything
note
else.
to come back for the Reaper's skull. I didn't ride the beast for 3 weeks to have no proof. Land never felt so good. Even in this Arctic hell.
Yeah, there's a toilet in here though. I hadn't noticed when I first came by. I'm glad you told me because I would have completely missed the fact there's a toilet. Thank you very much. I appreciate the help. I've got more stuff to decorate my base with now. I can make a bathroom in there. Well, I don't know where I'll fit it. Because I do kind of plan to make an aquarium, but no, if I shuffle things around a little bit, I can almost definitely fit a bathroom into my base. Also, hello. I appreciate you coming by. It's always nice seeing you people. Especially in this game, because that means you likely know more about the game than I do. You can maybe help me figure out what the hell I'm meant to be doing. Because currently, the only kind of idea I've got for where to go is follow this. I don't know anywhere else I can go. I've got the tissue component from on land. I have body component from somewhere underwater. Where is it? The skeleton? I'm talking about the architect stuff. We need organs. And I mean, finding a body for tissue, fair enough. Finding a decomposed skeleton, fair enough. How do you get organs? It's gonna be like suspended in a vat, maybe? I don't know. Whatever it is though, it's probably really deep underwater. And I can't say I'm most looking forward to it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Like, I die a horrible death after being eaten by a Leviathan. It's not great, but it could be what happens. And I'll be honest, I don't think he'd go quite so far. He's alright, isn't he? Yeah, he looks to be alright, thank God. Well, I felt really bad there for a second, but he seems to be fine. He's just... I got a mild concussion is all. And what's better than going for a swim after a mild concussion? You know, that's bad advice, by the way. Do not go for a swim after a concussion. Like, I'm joking. I'm assuming no one here has a concussion, but I do want to make sure it's being said regardless. Just I don't want people blaming me for any stupid stuff that I say. Yeah, we need to have a stopping off point up here. Go up to the base, grab some food, that covers our water, covers our hunger. You might even be able to grab some of the leaves from the Preston plants and make a salad. And to have a nap after concussion. I mean, they're really not supposed to do that either, I don't think, are you? Like, I mean, maybe they could kill me? I don't know. Maybe it would be kind of a... What was the biblical story where the guy was eaten by a whale? It was Jonah, wasn't it? Or something of that nature. I can't quite remember. It's been a while since I've done any kind of Bible-related studies. But, yeah. You probably could survive in a whale because... Like, while it would be a bit scary, I don't think they're designed to be able to eat you, so they wouldn't really do much. Also, these grown, yes they have. Lovely. Let's pick some of these fruits. Just plant them if we can. Can I grab that one? Yes I can. There's another one, but I can't be arsed trying to get to it. Plant all of that. Next, pick up these, get my initial food sorted. Then propose a slice. 4 slices each seems reasonable. 1, 2, 3, and 4 as well. Yeah, dangerous weather. How do I make a salad though? I want a salad. somewhere in here. Probably gone past it. Where is it? You know what? I'll figure it out when I'm inside. I know I need fever peppers. I'm gonna assume it's a 1-to-1 exchange rate. It's just pick a bunch of them. That's 1, 2, 3, 6. I need 2 more. In fact, I believe there's exactly 2 more. These stairs always not quite reached. I feel they used to go all the way down. I could be mistaken. I'm a bit confused, but I could be mistaken. Sustenance, cooked food. Yeah, 1-to-1 exchange. Make a bunch of salad. Because why not?
Does not traditionally involve leaves, but at least it is nutritious and warming.
I don't know why it's a fruit salad though. The fever peppers don't strike me as a fruit. Hence, like the pepper in their name. But I mean, just make a bunch of them. I hope they don't go off. Chances are they do though. They don't go off. Oh, that is glorious. Oh, that is amazing. Okay, I've got my food sorted. It's unperishable. Okay. So I've got that now. All I need to do is get a bunch of bladderfish for water, which I think I did last time. Go into here. Yeah, bunch of water. We're sorted. Oh, we've got so much in the way of just food now. This is great. I didn't think it would give you 85 food. Was it 25 or 35 water? 30. 30 water. Still good. That is still really good. 30 water on its own is better than one of the water bottles. The fact it doesn't ever go off, like that is amazing. Yeah, we're gonna go try and get this. Meaning we need to get as close to directly above it as we can. And I do have a feeling it's not gonna be in a friendly place. In fact, this is the shipwreckage. Do we have a 4th of big fish who've seen about the place? Because going down here takes us into, like, volcanic activity. Yeah, that's a bit worrying and all, but what's more worrying is that big fish up there. He's not immediately a threat. Go away, you bitey shark guy. Just want to go along here, past the... I want to say coral growing on these. I don't know if it is. It looks like coral to me, so I'm gonna just call it that. Then we're into the kind of funky biome. I've seen this in the past from a distance, but stayed very far away because it was way out of my depths at the time. I kind of forgot where it was. Yeah, giant ass jellyfish. I don't entirely know what's up with it, but do we want to drop a save and just let ourselves be eaten?
The garden harvests geothermal energy to nurture the life that grows within.
Wait, it has a life growing within. Okay, we're gonna go get eaten by it then. Let me just drop a save. If it's allowed to support life within, then going inside safe, right? This does not feel safe. What the hell? Spiral plants in here. Oh, Thank God for Spiral Plan. Yeah, I've been looking for this for ages. Like, I've been able to make the upgrades using synthetic fibre because I've come across like a good few pieces of it just out and about. I think mostly on land. I think I found 2 pieces. I've only needed 1 for the sea truck depth upgrade. I can't remember what the other one was for. Oh, I am glad I found some of this. I'm taking a bunch. Because, in fact, what's the exchange ratio? It's 1 to 1. I don't think I need more than what I currently have. I'll take 2 more though, just to be like extra safe. Yeah, can I just like scan this? Yeah. Event garden. The war creature. That is a cursed way to put it. Stop that, John. You're giving off the wrong impression. It's a wholesome game. It's just a big old fish that siphons off, I'm assuming, minerals? Possibly plankton coming up from this. Yeah, seems minerals and plankton probably. It will live off of them. And it supports an ecosystem inside to... I think of like as a nature perspective to support like oxygen production. And like oxygen deficient biomes? Biomes is the correct term for underwater, right? I want to assume it is, because I don't want to think I could be wrong. We also want to just kinda sort all of this out. I meant to empty all of this once I was back at my main base. I guess I just missed the whole emptying everything out part of the game. So I guess just dump it. There we go. Okay. So we want to go down. Still annoys me, there's not just a straight up go down button. But that's fine. We're not going far down. We are... I mean, stopping here. I'm going to investigate what's on its feet. Because, I mean, while I'm not into feet, has it grabbed onto something? Or has it sent out little tendrils to grab onto something else? Like, what are these bits? It looks like the tentacle opens up to let this come out. To grasp onto things to anchor it in place. This is an interesting creature, I really like this. Like, this is what I liked about the first game, just coming across things that look odd, but you could understand somewhat how they work. Also, 40 degrees down here, meaning I get to charge up while on the go. And also, it's literally stopping right here. Okay, this had better give me somewhere to go, because if it doesn't, I'm just exploring. I think I'm just exploring. God damn it. God damn it. What am I meant to do? Like, if I go into my beacons, that's us now done with that. Done the cache. I think we've done all these others. One of them led me down towards the like sanctuary under the water. It was an interesting thing to find, not really useful, it was quite nice though. One of them led me... I can't remember quite where, but it led me somewhere. It's like an active volcano vent. There's one we've just been into. There is... My oxygen's not going down, is it? Oh, it is. I should maybe jump into here while I do this. One of them took me to the place for cotton and enemies. That's not the same place as had the Tranquil Garden, was it? There must be one of them we've not done. I am just gonna have an explore because, I mean, can't think of what else to do. I do love this propulsion cannon. I feel a bit mean using it on just your average fish, but that doesn't make it any less satisfying. Alright, we do have Uranite. Reactors don't sound like something I need, but if I wanted, I could make reactor rods. Just, they use a lot of materials, and when you can just have free infinite power from like either solar panel, bioreactor, and a plant pot, like a lovely combination which gives you infinite fuel. Or the like, thermal generator. Why would you want to go for nuclear power? It seems excessive. Like, I understand some people like the idea of, like, you can build it, so you want to make it as cool as you can by just building like, all sorts of fancy things, such as a nuclear reactor using uranium rods. But it doesn't really sound necessary. Also, I will drop a save, because that looks like it might be the edge of the world just ahead of me. It's like the first game, I do not want to go down there. Try and raise up a bit so I can get a better view. If it's a sheer cliff, then we're not going that way. That's a pretty sheer cliff. We're not going that way then. That's us at the edge of the map. We need to go back. This looks to be maybe southernmost point. Although, there might be more over there? I don't know. First game trained me to stay away from things which look like sheer cliffs. But how far away from my actual base am I? Far enough away that I'm willing to accept it as possibly just the edge of the map. Ah, Big Jordan's arrived. That's good. What? Big Jordan? I don't remember you ever mentioning it. Like, I hope it's a good book. Ah, what's the girl encyclopedia? I mean, hooray! Still, I guess your book's arrived. Just 'cause it's not my kind of book doesn't mean it's something you shouldn't have. I mean, you're making your own money, you're allowed to make your own purchases, that's how it works. God almighty, Sean. I can't believe you expected better. Nothing like... Oh yeah, exactly. Any kind of sound you hear, because, like, if I stay still for a minute, it's just ambient noise. There's not any actual sounds. So any kind of sound that you don't immediately recognise is just terrifying. It was on sale. I mean, sure. I can see it being fun as a kind of just one-off thing. You could call it a reference book as well if you ever want to make a like D&D campaign where you're just like trying to get a harem or something, I guess. Be a bit of an odd one. Something I will ask, by the way, I'm just going to say Joe, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce the first part. Why would you want to go down to 1,000 meters in a sea truck? Is there a reason to want to go down to 1,000 meters in? Have I just missed something? Because there's the definite possibility I have just missed something. But I can't think of any time I've been really all that deep down. Okay, I'm just having an explore. I think the next place I'm going to go, because, I mean, there was a bit more to explore, is back by the, you know, Leviathan Canyon as I marked it. I think where I am now, this is Ice Bridge up that kind of direction, isn't it? So I should probably just ignore this area. Yeah, going down to 1,000 meters. Prawn suit? Yeah, fair enough. Sea truck. The whole point is it's a base. I had to go to the purple crystals area. I'm assuming you mean the place of kinda centipede guy with blue mouth. Yes, at the time I couldn't go below. It's either 700 or 800 in the prawn suit, and I didn't have a rebreathe. So I didn't go any further down. So this time there's a way further to go. I'd forgotten about it until just a minute ago. Which is why I marked the location. So I'm thinking that's where I want to go. Because that's where we got the... Was kyanite? Cyanite? One of those two pronunciations. That's where we found that. Which in the previous game was next to the final area. Making me think that's where I want to go. Okay, yeah, that is where I need to go, thank God. I've heard somewhere, like from someone who came by previously, that there is an underground kind of mushroom biome. Or underwater, I guess would be more fitting. I don't think I've come across that, so there's definitely at least a couple places left to go. I think I haven't really been out to the far east. So I've got over there as well. Yeah, far east, underneath Leviathan Canyon, I can't think of anywhere else. I know there's a different way you can go to get into this canyon. I can't remember where it was. I did place a marker on one end. This is a marker by the fallen ship, shot down ship, ruined ship, whatever it is. The little spaceship part that is over the canyon, which then drops down further to where I want to be. That was under Marguerite's place, wasn't it? Other side. It is closer, but I think I'd prefer to approach from over here because we don't have a massive cave to go through. It is just a canyon leading down, and then a little bit of like, pussyfooting around to get my way down. Pussyfooting is such a weird, like, phrase though, isn't it? Like, it's not an offensive phrase. If you don't know what it means, it's just like kind of... How would I describe it? Stepping around stuff to just try and navigate your way through, whether it's a problem or something like that, just working around things. Like, it can also just mean doing it in a very roundabout way, I think. I'm not sure. It's a fun word, I do like it. Not just because it has pussy in the name. Like, I think it's just a fun word. A fun phrase. It's a good one. Right up there with flabbergasted as far as I'm aware. Because flabbergasted is just fun. You can't ever deny that flabbergasted is a fun word to just say. Hijinks as well. Like, there's a lot of fun words. I quite like new words. The hell am I rambling on about? Why do you care about my preference in words? Why am I saying this stuff? Okay. We're gonna dive down here. Hope I don't batter my vehicle too much, but down we go. So head down here. I can take the sea truck most of the way, I think. We want to go, yeah, down this bit. This is one of the few times I can think of the sea truck wanting to go even remotely close to 1,000 meters. Like, the furthest I could see it getting is maybe around 500 right now. But, I mean, it's closer than I reasonably have. Yeah, just past this thing. This is the landmark telling me this is the way to go to get into the purpley crystal area. I do think this approach is much nicer than Marguerite's base. Might just be me personally thinking that, but going past the giant thermal vents, like, it's just really nice. Yeah, purple crystal area. I will park up the top of it, just around here. That'll be my way back out. There we go. I think that's not about level. I would just level it off a bit more. Oh. Do I need to eat food? I do. Eat that. Grab some water. We could have a sleep. I don't think we need to sleep. That's not in any way necessary. Pick out some disinfected water as well as a handful of filters. And out we go. Now, propulsion cannon. It lets me grab and chuck fish. Am I able to grab and chuck quartz? I can't. Okay, I've got a weapon. It's not a good weapon. We're just gonna launch a crystal at this guy when he appears. Ooh, I mean, he is gonna appear, isn't he? If I'm quick enough, I can avoid him. Because I don't entirely know where I want to go, but I know it's deep down. I'm already seeing him. He's over there. Ignore him best I can. I think he picks me up regardless of whether I'm staying still or not. So stay on the move. Is it down this bit? I can't remember quite where it was. It must have been somewhere around this area because it's close to 700 meters down. Drop a save, will do it. That's a good shout. I mean, the guy, I think he does 30 damage if he manages to munch on me. So, I'm not in the worst position. But his save is definitely a good shout. Got another torpedo arm, which I could scan because I always tend to be needing a bit in the way of titanium. I grab one of you. I can give you a pull. Come with me, you're now a pet. You're coming down this, whatever this is. Yeah, that's good enough. So down here we have proper kyanite crystals. Drill a few, because I mean if we're able to drill them, chances are we'll need more later on. Is this supposed to be kind of like the Sulphur Lakes or whatever it was biome from the first game? A bunch of crystals clumped together. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's probably a much better plan than mining them. Down here, it doesn't seem to have anything else, does it? I thought there'd maybe be a cave system or something, but there doesn't seem to be. I do actually need more gold, however. Do I actually drill this? I've been running a bit short on gold. This has just turned into a mining stream, hasn't it? I hadn't meant for it to turn into a mining stream. I mean, to be fair, it started off just exploring the snowy land area with a snow fox. That should probably be enough. Okay, head on up. This guy seems a bit confused. He's now starting to fall again. Grab a crystal so I have a weapon to launch. Is there more to go down around this area? I'd imagine so. That can't be the only place.
The crystals in this environment are confusing my senses.
There we go.
And yet I feel certain there is something important below. A facility or a body component. Perhaps both. I cannot tell.
Something important below in this general area. This is what I was going for. Drop another save, because there's a lot more crystals. I'm assuming this is what you were on about. What's going on here? Yeah, definitely the way forward. Cool. I can't see past my crotch, so we need to just hope this is safe.
There is definitely something of value nearby. It could help you build your body.
Something valuable. Ah, and yet we've got one of these little wayposts telling me where to go. That's it. That's what we're after. Why would you ever need to go down below 1,000 meters though? It's still what's confusing. Because, I mean, I guess it kinda makes sense letting you get deep down. But it makes me think there's somewhere else even deeper that I can go. That in itself is enough to be concerning. But yeah, what have we got? We don't really need the light or anything, do we? What's this? I mean, we've got the obvious way forward, we've got a little side bit. I don't think there's anything down there, there never has been. I mean, this looks very prominent. Is that... That's for organs, isn't it? I didn't think there'd been a display case.
You will be able to construct bionic organs.
Probably been a kind of, like, aquarium looking thing.
Our designs provide for redundancies.
Given your current location, I think they could still be improved.
Your feedback has been noted. You have scanned all the components we need to make a storage body.
Are you excited?
Using the chemical compounds available in your body, I am able to approximate what you might call cautious optimism.
So, what happens next? Is he gonna give me a signal telling me, oh yeah, go here, it's like the Build-A-Bear workshop for architect bodies? Is that what's gonna happen? I kinda hope it is, but I can't think what else would it be. Let me just head on up. Do drop a save again, now that I've gotten that. Which way was the way up? I must say, this is all rather samey looking. I think it's this way, seeing as there's a post. I don't actually know what the end point of this game is, though. We've already done what our sister was working on, what Sam was working on. Is the end point we get Alan out of our body as well? Is that all we need? So I'll be honest, I'll miss Alan a bit. He's been lovely. He really has been. He's got a nice bit of sarcasm to him, despite apparently being some kind of emotionless AI. I was like, I should ask by the way, Joe. There isn't anything else in here, is there, of use? Like, it's just kyanite and the, like, body part that I've just found. And I guess uraninite, but uraninite's one of my things I don't ever use. I should ask though, just to make sure I'm not going to be having to come back. Because it's kind of out of the way down here. Well, that's the bad kind of outlook. That's as far as the areas go. Probably my favourite. I do like the nice purple crystals. Still though, if I can avoid coming back again, I'd like to avoid coming back. Where do I go to get up? Do I just go directly up from here? I wouldn't think so. Red crystals is the Build-A-Bear workshop. I would imagine red crystals aren't here. Are they? Have to return to a slightly different area. Slightly different being I look through this area for a new place with red crystals, or different being I just don't see the guy, I'm safe. I think it's west. Can't really get west. Yeah, he's grabbed me. That's fine. That's fine. Just give him a bit of a drill. Scare him off. Without a propulsion cannon, that's not gonna work. Head to the west. West's the ice shelf over the land, isn't it? Like, I thought west was the land where I like got the component for what you call it, the tissues. I think it was tissue for the architect. He's back again. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Just give him a drill while he's munching on me. Didn't I should come back for a moment, so I think I will just take this as a chance to just do this. I'm safe for a brief moment. Very brief moment. But I'm safe. West out of here. Or, no, it is down the purple area somewhere. Okay. Would you stop it? They're not benefiting in any way from munching me. Like, it's kind of detrimental to the two of us. I'm not a tasty meal. Don't entirely know what he eats, but seeing if he lives down here, it's likely the purple crystals or something. It's down the purple area though. It's gonna be a bit of a pain to find. West down the purple area though. At least I have an idea of where to go, because no one in this game has told me where to go. Kinda thought Alan might tell me. Like, maybe if I went back into the sea truck, it counts as a base, he'd tell me. But I can find it. Seeing as you've given me the clues, I'll slough it out. West, I would imagine down here. I doubt there's much of a difference between going up there and west, but I'll try for west. Does red crystals mean thermally active though? Because I know the end area to the first Subnautica. That was... What was it? Like magma? Lava? I don't know the difference between the two. I know one of them is like surface, some of it's like under surface level. Originally supposed to complete what I was in, but Dev thought it was too scary. I mean, magma's beneath the surface, you think. Fair enough. I understand, like, making him completely eat you. That would be scary. But he's a bit of a pain to avoid. I do think it would be nicer if they upped the damage dealt to, like, 70 rather than 30. So as it stands, you can be munched on, like, 3-4 times before that's your thing blown up. So, I mean, it would be nice, potentially, to have him deal more damage. But I guess it's what devs wanted, so I won't complain. Because as it stands, at no point in this game have I felt like I have been in danger. Like, oh no, it's a scary guy munching on me. From 100 down to 71 health, it does 30 damage. It feels like he should do a lot more. I don't know if you'd completely agree, but that was just 29 damage. That's not a scary amount of damage. Well, I can bring this guy with me. He can be a sacrifice whenever it comes back. I don't know if I'll eat him, but it might. I think he got caught in a rock. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. He didn't really deserve to be put through that. Where the hell am I going right now? I mean, I think this is where I went before? I don't know. Is that the clump of crystals over there? Or... oh yeah, he's not a Reaper. He's nowhere near as terrifying as I think he should be. Although there is more than one. Seeing as there's one over there currently. He should be a safe enough distance away. Let me just repair my... like... what's it called? I want to say sea moth for a second. It's not. It's a prawn suit. There's no sea moth in this game. Repaired him. Back on we get. Got either south or we've got west. You said you thought it was west, so west it is. We had Captain Chipmunk in the chat as well, saying it's somewhere with red crystals. So you're both thinking of the right place. It's just a place I have yet to find, which I'm happy with. That means I get a little bit of an adventure. I think it was southwest. I mean, that would line up with this kind of... I want to say corridor, but whatever the hell you'd call this is... branch, I want to say? Tunnel is probably the word I want. Yeah, tunnel sounds a bit more, like, appropriate. I'm now going northwest. I mean, I'm still heading west. I can easily change direction at some point. Something I do need to be careful of is the power in my prawn suit. It should be able to charge while down here. It's 20 degrees. It's not the hottest ever. But I think it should be able to charge. If it's still west, it's up away from here. Where the hell am I going? I've looked back to where I started, god damn it. How did I manage this? I'm practically back where I started all of this. Is he able to get me down here? I feel not. But I also feel he's giving it a very good attempt. I think this is my chance to scan him. You know what? No, that's a stupid idea. I'm not going to try and scan him. That's a death wish. Southwest, west kind of direction would be up here? Isn't this just by Marguerite's place? I need to be deeper down perhaps. Yeah, because I think this is just the one that leads off of Marguerite's base. Could be wrong. But, I mean... If I get out quick. Last known position's over there. There's no crystals at all. Crystals seem to be kind of below 500, 600-ish meters. I'm doubtful that's up here. I also should drink some water. There we go. I'll have an investigate. It's very likely that it could be higher up. But I'm just kind of second guessing myself when I don't need to. But I also think this is Marguerite Space right here. Yeah, that's literally Marguerite Space right up there. Never mind. I was correct. Okay, back down we go. I will find this damn thing. But I'm approaching from a different angle, which makes me immediately feel more confident. We wanted to head west. So hug the left-hand side wall. Have a look down any of these pits as I see them in case there is maybe some kind of cave system down here. I mean, there's this down here. Not exactly an extra cave system, but it's extra. How do we head west though? I feel I've looked around as much as I can. I'm not finding any kind of west. This guy's not very scary at all, is he? He's really quite disappointing. Yeah, because I think that wall loops around and leads up to where I left Vidulahan. So it's got to be more south first, then I head west. That's my guess, anyway. Because I can definitely do south. I'm gonna munch me in a sec, but one arsehole. He's not even particularly scary. Like, what's scary is the fact that he might break my thing. He himself isn't scary. It's just the fact this thing's got a bunch of upgrades. And there's no other way to get oxygen down here. Okay. He shouldn't be able to get to me right here. It could be in this area. But I want to branch off. I'm going to keep trying to head mostly south. But I don't know if that's entirely correct. I'm going to try that. And see if I find any signs. Because I definitely tried hugging the west side. And that didn't do much for me. Let's head on south. Would bring me this way. I mean, it's further away from my comfort zones. I think. Because we've got Vidulahan up there. Heading through... I mean... it should take me away from things. Right? There's not really a lot of west I can go. I'm really glad I got that thermal charging though, because I mean I've got a couple spare power cells in the storage of this thing just for whenever I inevitably ran out of power and needed them. I'm glad I've got them. Okay. So I'll try and head that way. It makes me think I'm going in the wrong direction. Like, you are both sure it's down here. Like, I'm just taking your word on it. I doubt you'd lie to me. I don't think I've ever come across someone who's just come by and straight up told me the wrong place to go. So I'm going to keep trying to go south best I can. It's currently southeast, however. Which feels wrong. Although, saying that, I mean, that's red crystals. I think I'm close to Build-A-Bear Workshop. Or the Building Architect's Workshop, I guess. Okay, okay, found it. We've got weird, like, arsehole plants. Lovely. It's a bit of an odd design for it to be chosen, but I'd imagine it filters out stuff from seawater, is why it looks like this. Also, this biome makes me feel safer, because there's not immediately any monsters screaming at me or floating around in the dark. So I just hop out quick, heal this up again. No, never mind, it's that. It does need its batteries to be changed. We've gone out of any kind of hot area. Change these. There we go. 100% power. And we just head down. If we're looking for Architect stuff, usually it's quite well signposted. They have the... like, whatever they are, and god damn, it's never one of them. I was just saying a second ago how I thought this place was a lot safer. Yeah. Avoid him. This is fine. And this is the first time I've ever got use out of spare batteries. Like, it's always been that I've had them with me, but I've never actually used them until now.
I sense the presence of a substantial facility in the area. Unable to identify.
What weird plants though? Sphincter plants are an odd choice. Okay, down this way. Ah! Hello, one block. Good to see you. Good to see you. I found a big crystal with a door in it. It's what people have been guiding me to for like the last 20 odd minutes while I mindlessly wandered around trying to find this. But yeah, I think we're close to the end of the game. I should maybe get the like poll out in Discord properly, like do a ask everyone. I can grab it for any of you as well if you care for what game I do next after this.
To build each component, we can assemble them.
And then we can transfer you out of my head?
Start.
I am anticipating it as much as you are.
Okay, so that's a symbol for bones, tissue, and organs. It's not very subtle, but presumably that just wants me to make these now. God damn it. Pyrite and ribbon plants. They're nearby. It's a blueprint I should tell me. If I have this available to me the whole time, I did. Cool. Cool. Maybe I just don't like this game very much. I mean, I am enjoying it. I wouldn't say it's as good as the first game, though. The first game felt a lot nicer. Did I bring any kind of beacon I could place down? No, I haven't.
The process requires you to build each component before you can assemble the whole.
And you are right about not being scary either. I think they've taken away a lot of the things which seemed scary. Because I don't think at any point have I felt threatened when a monster's come up and attacked me. I've always felt, it's just a monster, I'll need to repair this in a second. There's never been anything that's actually worried me. I mean, yeah, like you said before, comrades, that the public opinion was this kind of felt like a DLC of sorts. I don't know if I'd go as far as saying it feels like a DLC, but the map does not feel anywhere near as fleshed out. Like, yeah, I do agree with you, Joe. It's fun. The stuff on land, while it's nice, the fact that they completely limit your vision everywhere to make it seem bigger than it is, just makes you get lost. The land stuff itself isn't particularly interesting. I mean, I did that antibacterial thing, the cure or whatever, that Sam, our sister, had been working on, without much trouble. I kind of felt there should be more to that. Like maybe you found the blueprint for it, and you had to go find a bunch of plants or something, kind of like the first game where you had to get the... I can't remember quite what it was. You had to get something to hatch the eggs. It was just like hatching enzymes or something, I can't remember. Oh yeah, the first one felt a lot more empty. This one, I mean, apart from having like different filters over things, largely feels the same wherever you go. I think this one would have been nice if they'd maybe added more cave systems. Because I understand a lot of people probably don't like cave systems too much. But as far as I'm concerned, cave systems are good. I liked having to go through the kind of green... I want to say it was like sulphur area in the first game. Like, it was a good area. It was nice and open. Big scary monster you want to avoid. Minerals you actually want to get from there. In order to get to the lava area you had to go through that. It feels a lot less interconnected, this one. Like this biome here, it's connected to 2 separate places above. We've got up where Doulahan's parked, and we've got up there by Marguerite's base. It's just got 2 ways in. It's not connected in any way, really, to anything else. And yeah, the first game, I didn't really give any directions. I can see that being good, but I wasn't too fond of that. In terms of the whole, you needed to find blueprints for things to craft them. Like, I've said it before, I think if they had you find, like, 1 piece of a blueprint, then gave you the option to either find, like, another pieces of it in order to get the blueprint, or you got the option to craft like new pieces and like advance the blueprint and how well you know it, like in a research table of some kind, I think would have been a lot nicer. Saved me running around seemingly for no reason a lot of the time, because I just couldn't find where I was meant to go. That's not the way up there, I don't think. I need to go further along. So there's... yeah, like, I enjoy the fact it's got a lot of just stuff it's willing to give you. It kind of gets rid of the pain of having to craft things. Like, at first I came across some diamonds thinking, oh, cool, diamonds down by some thermal vents. That's fun stuff. Like, this is what you do to get diamonds. But then I came across diamonds in a vein underwater somewhere. I thought, it's a bit less exciting. And then earlier the stream came across diamonds, but they're actually just underneath the ice in the, like, on-land biome. You just need to go up to it with a drill arm on your prawn suit, just drill infinite diamonds. Yeah, kinda ruins it. Kinda ruins it. I do think they tried to make things different from the first one. I don't think it's all really been better, but they have successfully, in my opinion, made it feel different. Which, as far as I care, is enough to justify having, like, a sequel to a game. Like, they've put in a definite effort here. Not all of it's been a good effort. Like I say, there's a lot of parts I think fall behind the first game, but I mean, it's as they say, like lightning in a jar, like, you can't get a great thing twice. Like, it's hard to do it a second time. And I mean, they've definitely done their job in terms of making a sequel. I'm not gonna fault them. I don't quite understand all the decisions they've made. Like, to keep blueprints the exact same, where you have to go around scanning things. Like, I wanted to get a grappling arm for my prawn suit, but I have no idea where you go to get the next grappling arm pieces. I just haven't. Like, there's a lot that just hasn't really worked. First Subnautica's your favourite game ever. I mean, fair enough, fair enough. There is a lot to the first game which makes it interesting. Yeah, if we'd update the first on second's graphics, oh yeah, that would be lovely. Like, the first game, I think it was just great. Like, the fact that they had, like, at least this is my favourite part, the floating island that you came across. The floating island you found was of grappling arms near marked space. I mean, I assumed it was friendly, I just can't be arsed looking for it. Well, I'm fine enough without it. I don't think I found any massive reason. Yeah, we found where to make your body as well.
What's next? Let's get you out of my head.
First, you must find the fabrication facility.
Yeah, I know where that is, Alan.
Concealed at some depth.
Fabrication facility. So you planned on needing to make new bodies?
It is a standard medical facility.
A medical facility
That's
where
probably all
you just
craftable,
replace your
right?
whole body when it wears out? Sounds a little beyond standard to me.
Ours was a research mission of the highest importance.
So, what were you, a scientist?
Should have everything
like
we
me?
need.
I am a scientist now.
So, what happened? Your team found the vaccine and then...
Please, Robin, you have the components. Find the facility and construct the body.
Okay, but don't think I don't notice you changing the topic.
Is the grappling arm even worth it in this one? I don't think there's enough cave systems. Like, I like the idea of grappling around places, but half the game is just going back and forth to my base to craft things. I don't know if a grappling arm would actually be worth it, regardless. Although I do think I should definitely be thinking that the game's ending in the next, like, probably next stream. I've got 20 minutes left of what I plan to do today. Chances are I will stream a bit longer, because I am having fun. Yeah, and the first one was really fun. That's largely because you had caves that weren't quite so vertical. Caves were a lot more just going along with a kind of low down ceiling. Like, it's maybe not the most apparent what I'm trying to say, but a grappling arm getting along this kind of terrain would not be fun, and a lot of it seems to be kind of that thing. Yeah, there is a definite lack of scary leviathans. Something I mentioned to Comprex earlier when I was like in his stream. There is the same one big fish model, repeated I think on at least 3 separate occasions, I think 4. Like, you've got one in this kind of a bio, it's a big red one. You got one further on past the lily pad bio, it's I think black with bioluminescent patches. Then you've got another one up in I think the northeast, I think it was, from that. Like by the ice shelves and such, like, yeah, that guy over there. That guy's got a few different reskins. And apart from him, you've got that big Leviathan, like, down where we just were. And I think that's about it. You don't have any more. The first game, what Leviathans did it have? It had the Reapers early on. They're not quite a Leviathan, but I think they still count. You had the Ghost Leviathan, I think it was. You had the Dragon one far down. That's already at least one more model than what we found in this game. Was there another one? I mean, I guess this game has one frozen in ice if you want to like make them on par. It's a bit of a stretch. Eventually being pitch black. Place sound like first game. Big. Wait, there's just like big shrimp monsters. What on earth? I kind of want to see the big shrimp monsters. And yeah, you have the crab that can teleport as well. Like in this, you've just got things that bite you. That's it. I mean, I guess you've got the weird squid shark thing. That has an EMP of sorts. That's a little scary. But it's never in the scary area that you get EMP, because we're not able to really do anything. It's all just kind of pathetic seeming, really. Like, they'll come up and nibble you, and do maybe 5 to 10 damage to smaller ones. Bigger guys do... seems to be between, like, 29 and 35 damage I've seen, so I'm just going to say 30 damage. Nothing big. Okay. So she used to be British. I mean, that would make the game a lot more fun, letting just a British person get eaten by a Leviathan. Like, I don't see why we took that away. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. But still, it would have been interesting having a British voice actor. It feels like a very American game. I don't know how to really describe why. It feels like an American game to me. I don't know if that's just some weird kind of bias that I have. I really could not tell you. Let me just quickly grab this. Place. Put that in there. Maybe. Okay, so what do we need? We need kyanite. We need plasteel and diamonds, polyaniline, root pustule, synthetic fibre, gel science. Okay. I mean, we definitely grabbed gel sacks at a point. I think they're currently in here. So let's currently do the shopping list of what we need and having in here. I stopped because she kept murdering them to fish and chips. You do have Chinese potatoes. There are Chinese potatoes in this. You could theoretically make fish and chips. It'd be nicer than having just a spicy fruit salad using peppers and leaves. You're an American. I mean, that's fine. I'm happy with you being American if you want. There's a lot in this game I think it's probably changed. I do like how you definitely have different nationalities in this through the audio logs. Like you say, with the diverse cast. Can't just say my condolences, comrades. I'm sure it's not all bad over there, just mostly. Anyway, we need... There's only one synthetic fibre, so we need one of them. We need a single ruby. We need 3 diamonds, we need... Might have been 4 gel sacks. Okay, that gets me synthetic fibre. Polyaniline we can get. I think it's gold, salt. Actually, that's going to be a bit of a pain because we need to get more of. In fact, no, we've got plenty of them. Never mind. We just need to get a bit of salt, and we've got the gold we need already. I believe we drilled it up while we're underneath. So we've got them. We've got that. We need kyanite. Not in there. We've got 3 diamonds. We need. Synthetic fibre, we need this. So in here, synthetic fibre. I think I have needed a total of 3 in this entire game, and that is mildly disappointing. I kind of thought we'd need more, but that's it. 2 gel sacks, 2 root pustules. Root pustules, I believe I already have. Put those away. Root pustules are up in the base. Kyanite, yes. Plasteel, we can make. Polyaniline, we literally just need to go grab some salt. This is a really depressing endgame scavenger hunt. I'm not gonna lie, I kinda hoped for more. Like, it's nice not having to go on a massive scavenger hunt like the first game had you do, where I largely just got lucky and had chat helping me a little bit to get that like endgame scavenger hunt for the hatching enzymes done in, I think it was probably around half an hour if I had to guess. This one's really depressing. It's just a bit of everything from over the whole course of the game. But it's materials you already have, it's not like plants or anything. In fact, that is something this game lacks. Plants. This entire playthrough, I've been thinking, oh, I'm going to find another nice decorative plant to stick in with this one. Not a single one. There are no decorative plants. It's a real shame. Like, you can get a Preston's plant, you can get this. That's as far as you can really do if you want to have a nice little shrubbery just in the corner. Infants gallon butter. I mean, you say that, the stereotype over here is deep frying everything, like in Scotland. We don't actually do it, for the most part. Like, I think it's deep fried Mars bars is the immediate go-to people think of. It's not really much of a thing. You have like fish and chips, although this is a weird one which I very much disagree with. I have seen deep fried pizza. Like just a standard cheese and tomato pizza slice, but deep fried. You can get that as well down at a fish and chip shop sometimes, or like a fish and chip van. That's a bit of a weird one. I never want to go to America too. I appreciate your warning. I do. Tried that. I mean, I got it once, not on purpose. It said pizza. That was all it said in the menu. It didn't say deep fried pizza, just pizza. I thought, you know what? I'm not in the mood for something greasy. I'd rather just have like a just fairly basic pizza. Yeah, just got a deep fried pizza because it's got bread in it. It really soaks up the grease. It was not what I went for. I'd be lying if I said it tasted entirely bad though. Like it was actually mostly alright. As weird as that is, it was mostly alright. But yeah, I've also seen deep fried cheeseburger where I think they get the burger patty, like the... What would you call it? I'm just going to call it burger patty. You get some cheese, they get it deep fried together, so you have kind of the deep fried stuff around it. And you've got pretty much just melted cheese and burger in the middle, and then that's put into a bun. Again, quite nice actually. Like, nicer than you'd think. Very greasy though. It's definitely not something I'd really go to. Pizza is juicy. A bad one is going to be what I say. That sounds about right. Yeah, bad pizza is juicy. That sounds like what you'd get if you just put on too watery of a like tomato sauce or something. Okay, we now go into here. We make hydrochloric acid. We need a single bit of gold, which we need to grab out of here. Bit of gold, grab a couple kyanite, grab them and change them over. So I can continue charging. I need to go literally around the whole other side. Flask, most foods. There's a lot of frozen stuff. I don't think the norm is to have frozen stuff, like frozen vegetables. Yeah, that's a thing we definitely do. You have... I mean, a lot of things ready meal-wise can be frozen. But I think the main culture is just refrigerated stuff. Like, not really necessarily cooking from scratch, but let's say you buy a pasta ready meal or pizza or something. I think that's the more common thing to have. That might not be entirely what Converex agrees with, but from people I've known, it seems to be more refrigerated stuff. And to a degree home cooking, but I think it's largely just stir fries and other fairly basic things. Oh, we're just discussing food now. Converex, what kind of food do you usually have? Is it frozen food? Is it cooking from scratch? Is it just refrigerated ready meals like pizza and that? Like, what would you say is more of the norm here in the UK? You've had bull testicles. I'd imagine not in America. And you realize you get frozen stuff, stick it in an air fryer. Okay. So frozen stuff... Fair enough. I mean, is an air fryer actually all that good? I have heard good things about it, but is it actually as good as people say? Also, we've immediately just got all of this. We literally just needed to take a trip back to base. It's amazing. Okay. I might need to consider getting one. As a student, I am mildly broke. However, I'm getting my payout from Twitch soon. That's like £80, which could either be spent on games for more streaming stuff, or I could get an air fryer. Like, I do have a slow cooker. I'd heard a lot of good stuff about slow cookers from friends. I don't think it quite lived up to my expectations. It's good, but it's not as convenient. Like, I think the only thing a slow cooker does for you, prep time's the same, maybe slightly longer, because if you're cooking with meat you need to properly sear that beforehand, and in some cases cook it all the way through. And then you just stick it in and wait. Only part of time you're saving on with that is when you're actually standing around cooking something. Let's say you're making a stir fry. Time you'd spend stirring. But a lot of the things you make in the slow cooker, you wouldn't really have prep time like that anyway. Like if you're making a curry or something. Like, I think it's supposed to make the meat more tender, but I don't think it's as good as people really led me on to believe. It's about 10 years, it'll probably end up being the new microwave. I mean, you say that, but you can't microwave metal, but you can air fry metal. With less disastrous results, I'd imagine. It's not as fun. Like, you can't tell people they can charge their phone inside of a air fryer thanks to the new iOS update allowing it to absorb the oil. That's not a thing. Christmas items are overrated. To an extent, yes. I do think so. However, having some nice chicken, gravy, maybe some Yorkshire puddings, not really Brussels sprouts, I'm not a fan of them, but like some roast carrots, roast turnip, or not turnip, parsnips, sorry. And like nice gravy, maybe some pigs in blankets. Those, if you don't have them in America, it is sausage wrapped in bacon. It's like little cocktail sausage sized things. You only get them around Christmas, and they're far too dear for what they actually are. But they are quite nice. It's like a staple thing of Christmas. I think it's good. I don't think it'd be quite the same like atmosphere without it. The food itself, I could agree, is overrated, but I think it's the associations to it that really make it, in my mind. Let's get things once they're cool. Yeah. Getting things just for the sake of getting things is not great. Like, normally when I get someone a birthday present or Christmas present, I'll think, is there anything this person might want or actually use? If the answer is no, then I'll get them just a box of chocolates or something. Which is fair enough, doesn't leave them with a lot of rubbish, doesn't clutter up their house. That's fairly reasonable as far as I'm concerned. If I can think of something they'll use, like a mug, or maybe they have been complaining about their...
Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Do I not have a rebreather on? I don't. Do that. I forgot to grab any food while I was out and about. Alright, fruit salad time. Yeah, but if I can think of something to get them, like them complaining that their phones ring out of charge too quickly, get them some kind of portable power bank kind of thing. Or get them a coaster if they don't have any and have been around to their house. It's always handy having a few coasters to put cups on. Like, if you can think of something useful, it's nice to get them that. Otherwise, I'm very much of opinion, get them something which will not be creating clutter, that they'll just keep around because they'd feel bad to get rid of them. But here's a question for both of you. I don't know, like, if you're both blokes. I know Combrex is a guy. What is your opinion on flowers? Would you be happy to be given a plant, like not necessarily like a bouquet of flowers, it's like a plant for a birthday or a Christmas? Or is that a thing you wouldn't want? Personally, I'd be fine with a plant. I don't know if I'd care quite as much about like a proper thing of flowers, but I wouldn't be against it. Because it's nice. So long as you change it with water and such, it lasts a while, adds a bit of colour to everything. Is that something which two of you would be against, just because of like the connotations of like it being a very female gift, I guess? Is it something you just wouldn't want personally? Like, I'm curious, I had a conversation with my family, like, a while back. Like, you wouldn't want it as a gift, fair enough. I can entirely understand why, but it's something I'd be fine. It's gets water and they'll die. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a decent reason to not want it. Also, southeast, wasn't it? Am I heading in the right direction? I hope I am. But feeling I'm not. I think that's the way up to Marguerite's base, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. This is maybe the right way then. This is the right way. Cool. I was doubting myself for a second. I mean, are you just against it because you'd forget to water it? Or no? Because, I mean, if it's just forgetting to water it, fair enough. You don't want to have any, like, added responsibility. That's fine. Fruit bouquet would be great. I can agree, yeah. Fruit bouquet, it's not really a thing I generally think of as a gift. But that's something that they can eat, get rid of, out of the way. No kind of responsibility attached other than maybe keeping it refrigerated or something, depending on what's like paired on it and what the presentation is. Also, I really don't want to be bitten by that guy because I'm on exactly 69 health currently. And I mean, it is the funny number. I think he might bite me. I might be safe. If I stay higher up, you'll struggle. Well, yeah, because his pathing isn't great. It just beelines towards you. There's another one of them right over there. God, there's a lot of these guys. I must be getting close. Never mind, I'm literally right next to where I need to be. Andrew Tate. The name rings a bell. I can't immediately think of who it is. Is that a person my sister was going on about who thinks he's some kind of alpha chad or something?
So, Alan, you said your people came here in search of a cure?
I was a researcher.
You were a scientist? Like me?
My people regarded my scientific contributions with particular interest.
As I said, like me.
If that is your interpretation.
So, how did your valuable scientific mind...
Is my character grunting in the back?
My mind, my body. Perhaps you should build the next component.
That was weird. What's an anime? I quite like anime. I actually watch a good bit of it myself.
To search for a cure?
I led the mission.
Does that mean the bacteria got out on your watch?
This subject is uncomfortable. If you would like to know more, I will ask that you first construct the final component.
Yeah, like with anime itself is fine. Some of the people who get into it, bit iffy. Like there's a definite line where you want to say it's a bit much. Mainly Dragon Ball. I mean, Dragon Ball Z. I have a friend who's watched the entirety of it, I think 3 times over. They really like it, they're currently watching through it again. I haven't really watched much of it myself. From what I have seen, it seems good. It's just, it's a bit too long for me to really commit to watching it.
Soon I will be autonomous again.
What will you do with your newfound freedom?
I must return home to make amends.
Amends? For the bacterium? There seems to be a lot you're not telling me.
It is hard for me to find the words. I must collect my thoughts. We have all the necessary components. You may initiate body fabrication sequence from the terminal.
You still owe me an explanation.
Like you're just mixing everything together. Like the devil fruits from One Piece, I think they're an interesting concept. Considering the entire like world of One Piece is essentially all set in islands. It's all just one massive archipelago. And I think split up into 4 different areas. For like the north, east, south and west by giant like walls pretty much. I think the devil fruits are an interesting concept that we've got where like you get lots of like strange powers with them. Yes, but you also lose your ability to swim, which is also an important thing in that kind of a world. Naruto, I don't think he's ever eaten one. I think it's just like weird ninja nonsense, isn't it? That he does. I haven't actually seen any Naruto. I've seen some Dragon Ball. I've not seen any Naruto.
Commence installation using third location.
The escape of the bacteria was an accident. I thought my solution was foolproof. I was wrong.
Did you cause the accident?
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough, one block.
Oh.
I mean, the stream's gonna end in a
I
minute,
do not
so.
wish to speak about it.
We can come back to this.
In fact, how long is this game from this point? I feel this is pretty much the end, isn't it? What more could I have to do?
Commencing data transfer.
Did it work?
Why the hell does my vision go all CRT links?
It has been some time since I last stretched out in so many dimensions. Like waking from a dream.
Whoa. Hey.
Maybe murders me. Right? No?
You're really not in my head anymore?
There are some remnants. Would you
I
like
can
your
see
memories
the
of
I
me?
can see the resemblance.
Are you kidding? No way. You still owe me the end of your story.
I told you I must return home. To assess. Repair. Make amends.
Tell me more.
When the bacteria escaped, it was my fault. I disobeyed the directive from my network.
Oh no.
Okay. So he disobeyed something.
We noticed that a species of Leviathan young produced an enzyme that is efficient against the bacteria.
And that's linking
I
back
thought if we
to
incubated sea dragon
yeah,
eggs, we might
first
expedite
game.
their hatching. I was not wrong.
But
It would appear that sea dragon parents are stronger and more motivated than our facility was rated to handle.
then the bacteria got out, infecting everything. How many survived the outbreak back home? Are they still waiting for someone to bring back a cure?
I do not know.
Can I help?
The fact that I withheld this information does not concern you.
It was certainly manipulative. And I've also made my own share of mistakes. I'm still committed to helping.
I accept your help. Find me at the gate when you are ready. In the meantime, I must prepare.
Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Okay, this feels like the end of the game. I'm just gonna keep on going. I was gonna end the stream, but this feels like literally the end of the game's probably up here. I'm going up to a big ass gate. Okay. Where's Ocean Man? Wait. Manager. What? Where'd he go? I left him right there. Is he gone? Okay. We're swimming back. That's not a fun idea. Where the hell did he go? That's actually quite upsetting. Like, is this... That's not any remains from him. What? Alright, swimming back it is. I'm gonna be eaten at some point. I'm also gonna suffocate because I cannot make this trip on Thin Flipper, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna drown down here. Where the hell did he go? My guess is he's phased through the floor or something. No, I've not got a marker in the HUD. I checked my waypoint list. There's no waypoint that would let me pick him. Also, quick facts. That's why I'm losing oxygen so quickly. I now need to go back and top up on oxygen because I didn't have my rebreather equipped. Okay. I mean, worst case, I die. I likely respawn at my base. I think I'm about to die. I think this is the worst case. I think he's stuck back there. Like he's given up for the moment. Go. Go. Quick. Quick. Oh, this is quite the final stretch, isn't it? A bit sad he's disappeared. But I'm going to assume Alan's eaten him or something. I don't know. I left him literally right here. He shouldn't have been in any bad shape. Like, those guys, I don't think, come down here simply so you aren't eaten. Like, the beacon list, there's no Ocean Man. Ocean Man's dead. Poor Ocean Man. He doesn't deserve this. He's helped me through the whole game pretty much since I've got him. I feel a bit bad. But there's no sign of him left. he had stuff left in his inventory, so that reasonably would have been chucked out onto the ground after he was eaten, if he was eaten. Or if he exploded in any other way. But no, it's just all gone. It's just all gone. Yeah. He's been taken to the land beyond. Can I survive this? I hope so. Waiting to lose interest. It's lost interest, and now safe. Up we go. I might have enough oxygen to just make this. It's gonna be really close if I do. There's no oxygen plants down here, you're really not meant to be doing this. At no point had I thought I should bring like spare oxygen tank. Knowing it was a thing you can do. You can bring a spare oxygen tank, switch over to it. I thought I would be fine, because I would always have vehicles if I was going down deep. Or anywhere which was far enough away from oxygen. Didn't expect them to just straight up disappear on me. Okay, air bladder, they won't give me any kind of emergency oxygen. Just keep on swimming. Okay, 100 seconds. Can I make it there in a minute? At this speed? Possible. There's a very slight possibility if I beeline it. Don't even try to avoid any of the like guys who are able to eat me. I might make it. There's a chance. The chance is incredibly slim, but it's existent. I've got a minute left. Okay. I can maybe do this. That's a dead end. I need to keep going around all of this. I'm getting less optimistic by the moment. Still a chance. Worst case scenario, I likely respawn back in there anyway. I don't have anything on my inventory worth being concerned about.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen
Yeah, I
remaining.
appreciate the warning. It's really not helping the situation though. Yeah, I'm gonna suffocate. Do we just speed up the suffocation, or do we see how close we can get? Because I need to go up from here, I believe. Yeah, I found the pretty much shortest route. It was still 250 meters off. Fair enough. It's not really fair in any way. Ocean Man just straight up disappeared. Where did he go? Like, I don't think I need him anymore, but it really is quite worrying that things can just straight up disappear on you. I really do feel quite bad. Like I say, he helped me through the entire game since I got him. Like, he's definitely been a key part in everything I've done. Like, sea truck's nice, but it's no Ocean Man. It's no Ocean Man. I'm trying to think of what would make him disappear. Like, he wasn't below his recommended depth, but maybe there was an error which made it think that, which resulted in him just exploding. after enough time. That's possibility number 1. Possibility number 2. He was eaten by one of the people, and when he's eaten, or not one of the people, one of the big kind of centipede looking fish with big mouth, he was full health. He would have needed to be attacked 4 times. I don't believe they attack you so long as there's not someone inside. So that's very unlikely. Possibility number 3. Because I hopped out of him before he hit the ground somehow. Because I was looking away from him or something. He glitched through the ground and fell into a kill box. Option 4, he just decided to go home, wherever that might be, without saying anything to me, or giving me any kind of reason to think that he might. He just disappeared and went back home, wherever home might be. I like to think it's option 4, because that means he's still alive. I'm gonna stick with him just going home, without saying goodbye. You'd think it would give a warning, but if I wasn't in it, there wouldn't be any reason for it to give a warning. It wouldn't give you a depth warning, because I wasn't deep enough down. It wouldn't give you a health warning, unless you're sufficiently low. Power warning, again, is not a thing that would matter. I don't know what could have happened. He just disappeared. It really is such a shame. I'm assuming I'm supposed to continue going through the underneath of this. There's one mystery as well I haven't found out, which I don't really care to figure out at any point, if I'm completely honest. There was, up by the land segment, a, like, not really a door, a wall of ice that could have been laser cut from the other side. That wall of ice, while, I guess, interesting, I never figured out how to get to the other side. But yeah, up to the gate, where I really hope he doesn't ask me for ion cubes, because I've only got 1. That involved another trip to base and I'm kinda needing to end the stream. Just quickly eat a fruit salad, because it's the ultimate food source, apparently. Who would have guessed? Not me, because it seems like a really stupid thing to have as an unperishable food. But here we are. Thing I had previously found and hypothesized would want ion cubes. It had 4 podiums, I believe, but I'm hoping I do not need to actually give them anything.
Are you preparing to leave, Alan?
Yes, there is much to do.
What's this? A reactor? Looks a bit like a reactor. Alright. I'll give it a scan, now that it's running. Probably not. Well, Ocean Man, I don't know what's happening at this point, but I think we need to go.
Do you still wish to leave with me? Beyond this teleporter, there is no turning back.
Are you kidding? I can't pass up a chance to see where Architect's coming from. Besides, I don't have another ride.
I do not know what we will find there. The others may be sick or angry, if they live at all.
Or you could find peace. Family.
I hope you are right. Please complete any business you still have on this planet. Join me on the other side when you are ready to leave.
Let me just immediately jump on through then, but backwards, because I'm cool. I don't know if that makes you any cooler, but I'm jumping through that bit, mostly to see if it turns me around. It did! Cool. This, because my UI's disappeared, I'm assuming is the end of the game, which is why I kept on
Robin,
going.
you're just in time. The phase gate is opening.
You've been hiding a phase gate here this whole time.
Only for the last millennium. It will lead us home.
No wonder you hid yourself from Altera.
It was imperative to keep the homeworld safe, in hopes that the others survived.
Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine? Just demons flood through. Just Doomslayer follows after.
Will you help me prepare the ship? The energy masts must be moved into place.
I feel I am allowed to say no.
This is different.
I mean, sure. Oh, I get to float. I can't just chuck myself off of the cliff. So I need to set up these masts? Is this just easily done? Could you imagine? Just right there. I don't manage to catch it again. It just falls down. That's me dead. End of game. Could you imagine? Oh, that would be amazing. Just like fade to black, squelch sound and noise. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be genuinely amazing. Sadly, if anything like that, like at the ready to go, I don't have like a soundboard or anything.
Return to me and I will initiate ship assembly.
Okay, I have your arms
The
back.
masts are in place. The energy field is ready. There is no time to lose.
I chuck myself off here. I'm feeling, yeah, visible wall. I know what I'm trying to do, but I apologise. He's building what I want to say is similar to a Borg cube. It's not a Borg cube though from Star Trek.
Join me, Robin.
That's just a tractor beam.
I apologize.
Camera clipped through the floor.
It was calibrated for heavier bodies. I would have helped you to your feet, but as you can see, I have been fully integrated with the ship.
Is this permanent?
Nothing is permanent.
So he's now the ship.
Are you ready to go?
I'm inside
Yes.
him.
I found the answers I was looking for. I'm
This is
ready
not
to
what
move
I
on.
had expected.
I can't bring Sam back. But I know she died fighting, and I got to finish her work. I'll always carry her memory.
Good.
It's a lot more intimate than I thought.
Please brace yourself, and then we will depart.
Let's just brace myself. Go. Brace while staring at his crotch.
In 3,
It's as God intended.
1.
I couldn't put a seat in or anything. Could they? Like, how mean? How mean? Okay, no, there's
What will
another
we
gate.
find
For a
when we
second
get
I thought his whole planet had
I
like
am the
blown
last
up.
of my kind. I will experience the sorrow of 10,000 souls dimming.
Okay. got water, because there's clouds and you're seeing rain in the window.
And if they survived?
Well, looks like a city.
With you, I am ready to face whatever awaits.
Another warp game distance as well. And then fade to white. I'm assuming that's the end. Yeah, that looks to be it. I did enjoy this. A lot shorter than the first game. I will say, a lot shorter. I don't know if that's just me thinking it is, or maybe I got more lost in the first game. It does feel so shorter though. I do think it was good. I think in a few ways it was worse than the original game. I do appreciate it trying to be different though. Not just be the same exact thing again. There's a surprising lack of stuff though. I don't know if I'm just misremembering the first game, but I feel there's a lot more in the first game in terms of like what you'd come across. You had the like red biome, you had the kelp forest, you had the starting bit with all the kind of sand and bit. That's all it is. You had the floating island, you had underwater like waterfalls of sulfur or whatever that was. You had the fiery bit at the end. You had the big blue area. You had the guys who walked along the bottom of the ocean as well. You had inside the ship, of course. You had various underwater bases to try and follow. Am I misremembering anything else? I think there were a few other areas, like a geothermal one and such. I can't remember much of that. In this game, there was maybe like starting area, kind of sandy, but you immediately get out of that into the kelp forest. You then have lily pad biome, looks visually similar to the kelp forest with all the green. You have on land, I guess. On land was fine. It was nice having something a bit different. It wasn't particularly well done, but well, I'm there. I'm one of those streamers mentioned. Lovely. Yeah, there were just... I didn't feel like there was as many different areas. And they all felt quite barren, really. Like the first game seemed to have a lot more biodiversity on both plants and animals. Still a good game. Wouldn't really rate it as highly as the first. But yeah, that seems to be that. If anyone is interested, let me just grab this to stick in the chat. I don't know who's all still around. But we do have that. If you want to vote in the next game, I'm going to put it in the Discord as well later, like at everyone. But yeah, that's all for now. I've enjoyed this game. And I do hope other people have enjoyed it as well. For now though, that is all. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, or evening, or whatever it might be, and I'll hopefully see you next time. Bye for now.